Good morning, good morning, good morning. I hope that everyone is awesome and amazing today. It's so funny because I have been having some one-on-one sessions with some of my clients last week, and I think it came up with a question that sounds like a stupid question, but in actuality, it's a really good question. How do I manage my inbox between all of the companies that I have and the different things that I'm doing? So I thought that I would just give 7 ways to manage your inbox. For some people, they say that their email is out of control. They're trying to figure out a way to manage it all. And so I just kind of wanted to jump on here and say what I do. So obviously I work from home. I'm a mother of 2 children, and my first priority when I get up in the morning is them now. I remember before it used to be rolling out of bed, grabbing my phone, checking everything, and I just found that was kind of driving me crazy. So the 7 o'clock alarm will go off for them. I'll get up and I will focus on getting lunches made, getting them dressed, brushing their teeth, just getting them ready. Their school starts at 8:30, so they are out the door by 8:15, God's willing. And they're literally across the street. So that's how I get my morning walk in. I walk across the street, get them to class, then I walk back. So depending on if I cross directly across the street or if I walk to the crosswalk, it may be a 10-minute walk, or it could be a 2-minute walk if I just go straight across the street. Once I get back, it's time for me to decide if it's a Monday, Wednesday, or Friday. Am I going to the gym from 9 to 10, or am I going to check my inbox? So I would say the first thing is scheduling when you check your inbox. Once you have a schedule for when you check it, how many times a day, it doesn't become a daunting task. I remember when I first started being self-employed or actually working from home, it would be that I would have 100 emails, 200 emails, and it was kind of like I had a wall up on, or a fear of actually checking my inbox. So I think that the primary course of action would be planning and scheduling out your day to figure out when you're going to do things. But most importantly, once you do get into your inbox, let's talk about how you're going to manage your time where you're not spending an hour or 2 on emails. So the first thing I do is I create groups. If I have specific emails, specific clients, I create groups for them. If I regularly need to send the same email out, which I do, and I email them to groups of people's clients, team members, I create groups so that I can do a mass email to these specific groups. And what I like is I use the Gmail or the G Suite platform, so it allows me to have candid responses that are already saved. It allows me to create groups in Outlook. So if I'm on my Windows computer and I don't want to be on the web through the Gmail website, I also have it in the Outlook platform. And then I also have mailing lists that I use to create my groups so that I can just manage certain things and send them out. So that's one thing, is creating groups. Like I said before, with Gmail, you can do what's called candid response, which in my mind, I put it as making email templates. So for instance, I have specific clients for real estate that I have to check on their financial contingencies. I have to check if the appraisals have gone through. So rather than typing that specific email fresh every time, it's like an email template off to the side, and then all I need to do is just look at the client that I'm checking on and then create the subject lines and edit things. So that's another tip. What I find with that is it just makes my day a lot easier. I look at my to-do list. I know that I have 5 properties that I need to check the status on, and then from there I can just put the property addresses, the buyer's name, so on and so forth. If I need to talk to attorneys, I have something specific to that. So I like that. It increases the efficiencies in my email. And then when I'm looking for or searching my inbox or my archives for emails, what that does is it allows me to just search, financial contingency confirmation for 123 Main Street. So that's another tip. I would say that in the morning, I clear my inbox first thing. So for instance, this morning at 9, I started looking at my inbox. I started looking through what was advertising or what was promotions. I looked at those first. I either archived them or deleted them out the mailbox. And then what I start to do is I get around to reading whatever's top of priority, and I start making my to-do list in my book. So if it's that somebody inquired on, you know, a service package that I do, if somebody's looking to see a house, if somebody's an attorney's calling to find out if we have already transferred the water for a particular property, I'm able to just check those off. So I'm not answering right away. I am just sort of looking at what's on my plate for that day. I might have a call scheduled today to speak to a client for a discovery call. So how am I going to prioritize and shift around what emails I need to answer right away? Another thing that I found works beneficial for me is turning the notifications off, because what ends up happening is as the notifications start coming in, you're looking and you start to look at, okay, that email came in, you start scrolling up, but in your mind, you've already prioritized that this may not be an email that you want to answer right away. So you're already shifting the pot. And that's how you start to fall behind on following up on your emails. And it just makes you be active instead of reactive. Okay, so, or sorry, you don't want to be reactive, you want to be active. So if your email or client program gives you pop-up notifications like a visual or an audio, turn them off, because you risk training yourself with every little ping to respond. What I found that turning off the notifications also helps me at night for sleeping well, because what used to happen is I have very sensitive ears. Like I could hear what's happening all the way on the other side of my house from where I work. So if I keep hearing the ping, 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 or if I keep hearing the vibration, what it does is it's forcing me to get up. The other thing was I moved my phone from my nightside table or my bedside table. I no longer keep it there anymore. I charge and I keep everything at the charging station at my desk. So once I clock out or I get up from the desk, here it is, I plug in my phone, I walk away for the night. In the morning, the notifications or whatever, I just sit down and I look at all my emails, or I look at my Facebook notifications, things like that. So I've created balance for myself. The other thing that I do is I create a specific time daily for reading and responding to emails. So I check in the morning, I look at what came in overnight. From there, throughout the day, I look at what calls I have. Do I have to be out of the office for any sort of meetings? I look at my day and I go back and I respond to emails. So a part of not being reactive and creating a great new habit is to set aside a specific time slot for dealing with emails. Schedule it, give yourself a start and finish time, and if you most likely find that you're going to grow more efficiently at the time when you get through them quickly. So no longer pondering on them. I also added like a browsing app on my, it's a plugin on Google Chrome that tells me how long I've sat at a website and if I was productive on it. So when I look at my weekly way of improving my efficiency and time management, what that does is it says how many hours I spent on Facebook. I can then look back at my timeline and say, okay, I was supposed to do a Facebook Live for only, say, 20 minutes. How come it rolled over into me being on Facebook for an hour, not doing a live? So it just helps you with your time management. The other thing that I would say is you want to make your search your best friend. Keep it simple, and if you want to find an email on a specific topic from a specific person, just enter the keyword. So that brings me back to the email templates that I spoke about earlier. It brings me back to the name, the client that you're dealing with. If you have specific emails or specific things that you are consistently emailing that same topic, but the client name might change, you want to look up an email that you sent for the Browns, you just type in Browns. If you want to look for anything for appraisals, you search appraisals. If you want to look for consultations, you search consultations. If you're looking for design presentation, you search design presentation. So when I talk about the facade of your business, you want to be having the same systems and processes all the time. So it brands your business, not branding as a personal brand, but it brands the way that you do your business. So your efficiency, your time management, your emails, all those things, if they're streamlined and if you have a process, think of how you look in front of your client. So you know you're winning both in front of your client and behind the scenes of your client. Last but not least, when it talks about answering immediately, yes, that goes against the wisdom of setting aside a specific time period, but there's a lot to saying for immediate action in your emails. If you can easily answer something in less than 2 minutes, go ahead, create an efficiency where if somebody has sent you something, you're able to answer right away. So it's kind of condescending, but at the end of the day, what you want to do is just look at your emails when they do come in. If it's something that you can answer right away, why put off right now? Why put off something for later that you can do right now that takes less than a second or 2 minutes to do? So I've recommended 7 ways today. There are a bunch of other bright ideas for you to be able to manage your inbox. These are just the 7 that I use on a daily basis. If you do want more information, you can direct message me here on the social media platforms. I'm on Instagram at NatalieCousins_. I also have my YouTube channel. I do also have my Facebook group, which is removing the burn out of your interior design business. Again, these formulas work for anyone in the industry, but because I am an interior designer and a realtor, I focus on that niche. Again, I am Natalie Cousins. It's always a pleasure to share my tips with you. I look forward to hearing from you guys and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.